Cayman.
The voice.
The heart. The soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 10th day of July 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Don't play Russian roulette with your life or the lives of other road users when you are on our roads. And I'll talk a little bit more about that Russian roulette, playing Russian roulette. And I won't make any claim to coining the phrase in respect of driving, but there was a story about an unfortunate death of two persons, an infant and his aunt on the roads in the UK. A person driving 141 miles an hour and then has the nerve also to record it, to use his phone to take a photo of it, and ended up with the loss of life of two innocent persons. The judge in sentencing that driver to 17 years imprisonment plus suspended driver's license, unable to get a driver's license for 21 years after he is released from prison, told him that by his actions, he was playing Russian roulette with the lives of all of those persons who were on the road at that time. So, you drivers out there, don't play Russian roulette with your life or the lives of other road users. As well. Those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope And we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, just like this morning, our phone lines are open. You're welcome to call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp 925-3261 as well. And of course, it is that great, beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. Now, we have several names for her now, old gal. And then we have Miss Reliable as well. Miss Reliable Susan in the studio with us this morning as well. So you're free to call. Also to remind you, this segment of the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And let's look at some of the birthday greetings. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today, please share that information with us, or any other momentous occasion as well. Please send that information to us. We will certainly give them a shout out here on For the Record, courtesy of Coca-Cola as well. So we see upcoming birthdays. Mr. Lyndon Lethan Martin will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow, as well as Edith Valeris and Robert Brown. The three of them celebrating their birthday tomorrow. Robert Brown, Edith Valeris, and Mr. Lyndon Martin. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today, like I said, please share that information with us. We're going to have in the studio with us later on this morning at 8:15 Miss Merle McGann, and she will be talking about Sea Sunday. We also expect to be speaking with the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts. I don't think will be able to be in the studio with us, but we plan on linking up with him by telephone as well. That will be at 8:15 this morning. Meanwhile, the phone lines are open. 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp number 925-3261. I'm told that we have a caller on our WhatsApp number, so let's go to that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, OC. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yep. My mind been trying to focus on where we are in Cayman. Just now you said you're saying something about the people that is in mental.
You were muffled there. We didn't hear you. I didn't hear anything after you said people. After people, if you're on the speakerphone, you may want to come off it, and that will clear up things.
No.
Okay.
No. Can you hear me now?
Yep. Hearing you.
Yep. Yeah, you were saying that you were saying something about for people in the mental health department. There was an ad that you was talking about just now, and I was talking to someone when that was on, and they said, now as long as you're in Cayman, you're in a mental institution. Because what has been going on here in the island, and we just had elections all around now. The UK had theirs,
Mm-hmm.
and now the United States is gearing up for theirs.
France had theirs.
Cayman's is
France had a
around the
runoff.
corner.
France had a runoff on Sunday.
Yeah, everything is there, but it's changing up. I don't know what's going to happen with us here, but my concern, Mr. Connor, this morning is the young people at this island. I've been talking to some young people, and they're stressed and depressed because they said it's nothing they can do. Every way that they go to apply for job, they don't even get a reply back from the department or the company, and they're saying that they can't get no help from work. They said you go to work and they tell you something, but they never follows up with you. You can't get back to the same person that you spoke to before, and it is very sad for these young people in the island.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen? Because I don't think they're gonna take it like how me and you took it. I don't think they're gonna take it like how me and you took it.
Well, you and I didn't have the challenges that our young people are having now, because when you and I were growing up, there were enough jobs going around for Caymanians, and it wasn't unusual for you to leave one job today and go and start another job tomorrow. That no longer exists in the Cayman Islands. We've become, so much more regimented in our approach, to things, to employment and everything, and we have to try to adjust with the times. We're not in the 70s and 80s anymore.
Yeah, I know that, but yeah, it was much easier for us to get a job. And there's still jobs for Caymanians. But what is happening in our own people, I'm talking about the own Caymanian people that own businesses and whatnot, they don't want to hire their own. They want cheap labor so that they can manipulate and control the worker that they got on a work permit. And the part with that is plenty of work here. But the Caymanians not getting it, they can't get it. And another thing, the young people send me so much stuff that they got to go through to apply, and everything is online.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everything is online. If you're not in the computer realm, well, you're out, because nobody don't want to help you do a resume or anything.
Yeah.
And another thing, I got a lot of friends that tell me that their children are in school and graduating, and they can't write a resume and thing. So I don't know what is happening. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah. Let's pause there. Let's pause there for a second. Parents are telling you that. Have they told you what they have done to contribute to their children being unable to write a resume? Because remember now, schooling doesn't only take place in the classroom, but it takes place at home as well, in terms of the parents assisting them. And if those parents don't have the ability to assist them, then they find the avenues that are available out there to assist children after school, as well. So if a parent is telling you that their child can't write a resume, I hope that they're also prepared to shoulder a part of that blame as to why their child can't write a resume.
Because they say that they didn't know nothing about writing a resume when they were going to school, and like you just said, when we were growing up in the 70s and 80s, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
So the parents can't help the child because they don't know nothing about that themselves.
Then find the resources that are out there that are able to assist with that. There are many after-school programs that we don't hear about that are out there. All you have to do is you have the desire to ensure that your child is properly educated. And while I have the mic, let's go back to the whole issue of jobs for Caymanians. The blame needs to be shared And, some of those persons who need to share that blame, they are our politicians as well, because they have the ability to designate certain jobs to be held by Caymanians only, and they don't do so, as well. So while we're assigning blame, let's assign it to our politicians as well.
What I'm saying, the Caymanian companies and businesses, they don't want to hire their own people because they can get cheap labor and they can bully and slave the person that they got the work permit for. Mr. Connor, you know that's true too.
But if that position is those particular classes of jobs are designated for Caymanians only, then they can't do that because they can't get a work permit, because the work permit board, business staffing plan board, the administrators at work can't issue a work permit for someone in a category that has been reserved for Caymanians only, like, for instance, real estate agents and others.
Okay. Well, I'm worried about the young people on the island because I said, and that's why they turn into drugs and different things, because they're stressed and they can't go to no one. They've been telling me that they put up so much resumes, nobody contact them back or anything, or no encouragement. Well, we might have no space now, but we will remember you in case, that we have an opening or something. They say nothing, and it's very sad what is happening on the island. And I'm afraid, like I said, the young generation now not going to go through like what we go through. It's going to be an uprising.
Caller,
what other folks have in their mind.
Yeah, caller, we can sit and talk about this every single day. And if we do nothing more than talk, then we will be talking, forever on this subject. Action is necessary. Caller, thank you very much. We have to go to a commercial break.
The Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands. He hath founded it upon the seas.
Following World War II, air transportation made its debut in the Cayman Islands, with the first seaplanes landing in the North Sound. The PBY Catalina seaplane arrived thanks to the efforts of King Parker Jr. from Tampa, who piloted the first passenger planes with his wife as the stewardess. In 1947, Parker sold his interest to a group led by Owen Bobby Roberts. Roberts would later spearhead the lobbying campaign for funding for the Georgetown Airport, which was officially opened in March 1954. The airport was aptly named Owen Roberts Airfield in honor of Roberts, who was tragically killed when his plane crashed on takeoff a year earlier.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners has written and said, "Good morning, Mr. Connor. One of the causes of the problems that our young people are having in the workplace is that we have a Minister of Labor who simply does not get it and does not seem to care. That minister is even very happy with a minimum wage of $6. Enough said. Plus, go on to say plus, government collects millions of dollars in work permit fees, but are failing to spend money to provide proper systems and staffing resources for the work department. Yet, they waste millions of dollars on vote buying schemes." And then they say crazy with exclamation. Well, again, we need to go back to the whole issue of we have a cabinet that is comprised and a government that is comprised of independent members. Some are much closer than others. And if you have a government with a manifesto that is agreed by all, and then they deliver on that manifesto, then that is completely, what you're looking for. Take, for example, the United Kingdom and the Conservatives, the Tory party, who just took a lashing in the recent elections. Why? Part of it because they failed to deliver on their promises. when you have, and I'm not making any excuses for any particular minister, any minister at all, but when you have a fragmented government, when you have a government that is comprised of independents, the rhetorical question is, what do you expect? We have a caller on a WhatsApp line. Let's go to the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm just listening in, and couldn't help to hear about the thing about jobs for Caymanian. And let me say this from now. I am a self-employed Caymanian, right? I'm 31 years old, but my biggest issue that I have is keeping up with the cost of materials. And I paint cars and boats for over 10 years. And I tell you what, I decided last year to find a job because I can't keep up with all the expenses. So I hooked up with Humane Society. I'm an animal lover, so I've been looking for a job with something doing with animals. And let me tell you, we have an issue with bullying in the workforce. Nobody wants to talk about it. Let me tell you what I know, right, from my bullying experience, because I smoke marijuana, and because I use this marijuana for medicinal purposes, I'm prescribed for marijuana for the CBD and THC. And what happened is, no, they want to put down the rules, their rules, you know, not anything illegal, but what they can, they put down their rules, nothing in the contract, that alcohol and drugs are not permitted in the workplace. I understand that, right? But this includes marijuana because it's not healthy for you or the animals. So if marijuana was a part of that, and you tell me now as a manager or HR, I don't know, that you need to drug test me, and I am using medical marijuana, it's not a drug. What are you testing me for? And
so when if I can interrupt for a second, so when you apply for a job, and if you're successful in that job application, and you advise your employer that you have been prescribed the cannabinoids and THC, whatever, then they know that, and they employ you on the basis that they are aware that that is taking place, right? So they know that. So you're saying now, why would they test you?
Right.
Well, is marijuana the only drug that's available out there?
No, sir. But let me tell you something that I know prior to the question, is that the fact that they just been watching me is discrimination. They've been watching me because they say in the meeting that I look high at work. I had looked high at work. Right? So because I come with a feature that maybe is not normal for them, maybe I have a little bit more shiny eyes than the rest of us. Maybe I don't have my eyeballs wide open like I on some caffeine or something else.
Okay.
Maybe because I just look normal.
Question. Is there a need for you to use your prescriptive drugs during the course of your workday?
No, not during the course of my workday. That is complete.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's the part that I'm troubled with, because I have respect for my work and I do not do those things during my work. Those are nighttime meditations.
Okay, yeah. So if
those are things that I practice at nights when before I go to sleep. I have this thing. I don't know if you've been through Hurricane Ivan or any other childhood traumas.
Yeah, I've been through Hurricane Ivan, and Hurricane Ivan went through me as well, both ways.
All right, well, same here. I stepped my foot outside during Hurricane Ivan and felt those bullets to my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Because that rain wasn't no normal rain. I don't know how many people have witnessed Hurricane Ivan, but it was 90 degrees.
We only have 30 seconds left, caller. I have to go to our 8 o'clock news.
So all I just saying is that they are discriminating through marijuana for the prevention of the young Caymanians that maybe might be on this thing for medicinal purposes, and they're afraid of not getting accepted for the job. And what happening is they're using that against us to make us intimidated to leave the job so that they can hire more people.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, maybe then my suggestion there is that we maybe need to have legislation in place that addresses the whole issue of those persons who have been prescribed that they shouldn't be discriminated against on their jobs as well. Caller, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. Very quickly, one person says, and I think this is extremely important. That's why I want to do this now. Good morning. Please let your audience know that Connect by Nova provides services to young Caymanians who need assistance with resume and interview skills. This program is sponsored by the government and other entities. So there's a company called Connect by Nova, and they provide services. So those persons out there who need the assistance, it's connect.nova.ky. So here is one less excuse to have if you utilize these services as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have Miss Merle McGann in the studio with us. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is a minute after 8.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Storm smart with Foster's this hurricane season. Always keep first aid supplies within reach. Ensure your first aid kit is fully stocked with bandages and antiseptics, and that you have all your necessary prescriptions. From minor cuts to serious injuries, first aid kits aren't skippable. They're lifelines. Don't underestimate the power of readiness. Go to fosters.ky/emergency checklist for more information. Be safe and get hurricane ready with Foster's to stay ahead of the storm.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A hyper season? Colorado State University weather forecasters have revised their hurricane predictions, now expecting even more major storms. On Tuesday, the CSU team released a statement saying they had increased the forecast and continue to call for an extremely active Atlantic hurricane season. This is being blamed on record warm sea temperatures across the hurricane main development region, providing a, quote, much more conducive dynamic and thermodynamic environment for hurricane formation and intensification. The new forecast describes Hurricane Beryl, a deep tropical Category 5 hurricane, is also a, quote, likely harbinger of a hyperactive season, a storm that has been blamed for at least 14 deaths. CSU meteorologists now say they expect 6 major hurricanes with wind speeds above 111 miles per hour out of 12 hurricanes from 25 named storms before the season ends on November 30th. This is up from 11 hurricanes and 23 named storms predicted back in April. The average hurricane season produces 14 named storms, of which 7 can lead to hurricanes and 3 becoming major cyclones. In other news, Deputy Premier and Minister for Financial Services and Commerce, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, has led a Cayman Islands delegation to Singapore. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The Deputy Premier participated in an invite-only European Commission and Financial Action Task Force organized side event discussion on beneficial ownership and officially opened the government's Asia office located in Singapore. The schedule also included attendance at the FATF plenary from the 26th through the 28th of June and a speaking engagement at Cayman Finance's Government and industry roundtable.
In particular, I would highlight the Cayman Finance Roundtable in terms of its insights, because the roundtable exchanged extremely valuable suggestions on how Cayman Islands financial services can be innovated and better integrated into Asia's commercial and regulatory frameworks.
The Honorable Andre Ebanks also attended the FATF and United Kingdom Financial Conduct Authority organized roundtable on anti-money laundering supervision for designated non-financial businesses and professions. It was hosted by the British Chamber of Commerce branch in Singapore. The reception for the Asia office opening was hosted by government's representative in the Asia office, Jean DaCosta. The Deputy Premier says another positive development of the visit was Jamaica's removal from the FATF's lists of jurisdictions under increased monitoring for AML deficiencies, which the FATF announced at the end of its plenary. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Leaflets have been dropped in Gaza City, calling on everybody to leave and warning of the area becoming a dangerous combat zone. The evacuation comes as efforts to end the war continue. Ukraine is top of the agenda on the second day of NATO's summit in Washington. Leaders have said they will never recognise the Russian occupation of Ukrainian territory, including Crimea. Efforts to end the conflict in Sudan are expected to start in Addis Ababa. They're led by the African Union, which is hoping for wide participation. The widow of the late Islamic State leader has been sentenced to death in Iraq. She was found to have worked with the group and detained Yazidi women in her home. Quotas used for government jobs have been suspended in Bangladesh. There have been protests against the system, which reserves a third of the jobs to the children of independence fighters. A man has been shot and wounded in a suspected carjacking attempt near the home of the US Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She's not thought to have been the target. China says it will investigate alleged trade restrictions the EU has imposed. The move follows a European probe into Chinese industrial subsidies. Australia is said to have held migrants on a border force vessel for more than 2 weeks. The group of 44 people were then put on small boats, which ended up on the Indonesian island of Rote. In France, Marine Le Pen has again been elected as the party's leader in the National Assembly. Her far-right National Rally had hoped to form the next government, but came only third in recent elections. A man has been caught trying to smuggle more than 100 snakes to China. Some of them had been stuffed down his trousers. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I gotta keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what, though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
In accordance with the Standards in Public Life Act, persons in public life must submit their 2024 declarations to the Register of Interest by 30th of July. Persons in public life include members of Parliament, senior public servants, members of governing bodies of statutory authorities and government companies, and members of commissions. Failure to submit a required declaration is an offence under the Act and can result in penalties. For more information or to file your 2024 declarations to the Register of Interest, visit www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky by 30th of July.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Light to moderate southeasterly winds along with moderate seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge of high pressure over the northern Caribbean. You can expect partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunderstorms. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Your winds will be east 10 to 15 knots and your seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. We're currently heading towards a high tide at 12:44 p.m. followed by a low tide at 6:34 tonight. Sunset is at 7:06 p.m. Your extended outlook is for light to moderate northeasterly winds and seas through Saturday morning.
We were on the edge of a breakthrough. I knew the substance was extraterrestrial, but I didn't realize.
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long, the entire lab exploded, and the radioactive sludge went everywhere. I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, but I was able to manage everything with the CG Online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britcay. Good like that.
the 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Quality of sleep is vital for maintaining good mental and physical health. Sleeping helps repair and restore our brains, not just our bodies. Sleep apnea is a condition that causes you to stop breathing while you sleep. To protect you, your brain wakes you up so you can resume breathing again. Did you know men are more at risk along with elderly and those overweight? Symptoms can include loud snoring, difficulty staying asleep, waking up short of breath, and fatigue, among many others. If it goes untreated, sleep apnea can cause serious health complications, but with medical assistance can be mitigated and even avert the risk of more serious complications.
Your health tip was brought to you by Total Health, comprehensive preventative health care in the Cayman Islands.
When a storm is approaching, be sure to stock up on drinking water and non-drinking water. That is, water for cleaning and washing. You can store non-drinking water in clean bathtubs or other large sterile containers. Visit the Water Authority's website, www.waterauthority.ky, or follow us on social media for more hurricane preparedness tips.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Coming from the east, traffic on Shamrock Road, just further up on Shamrock Road, is moving on moderately. Little slow-moving traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. And traffic is coming off of the Bobby Thompson Way is steady bit flowing. Coming from the West Bay 4-way, stop moderate flow of traffic. And traffic is flowing moderately in both directions on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. Owen Roberts Drive, traffic is light to moderate. Have you seen any issues happening or accidents on Cayman's roads? Give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another traffic report.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
We were on the edge of a breakthrough. I knew the substance was extraterrestrial, but I didn't realize.
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long, the entire lab exploded. And the radioactive sludge went everywhere. I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, but I was able to manage everything with the CG online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britgay. Good like that.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As I told you earlier, that we were going to have Miss Merle McGann in the studio with us, talking about Sea Sunday, and I'm trying to find this. Okay, we know our motto is He has founded it upon the seas, which is taken from the 24th Psalm, verse 2. I believe it is, for he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. That is what we are all about here in the Cayman Islands, and it is no accident that we have adopted that phrase, as our motto here in the Cayman Islands. Ms. McGann, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. 1 year goes by so quickly.
Exactly.
You never know.
It really does.
Sure. Welcome. And how have things been for you?
Well, to answer that question, I'd have to tell the truth and say it's been a rough time. My family, and more specifically myself, we've been going through some difficulty with our immediate family members passing away, and that is always difficult on everybody. Anyway, Sea Sunday is this Sunday.
14th.
Okay, the 14th. And though we are now familiar with Sea Sunday in Cayman, it's always, for more than 100 years now, the second Sunday in July, which is a Sunday set aside to give God thanks for our seafarers and the many aspects of our lives that they touch. Seafarers bring the world 93% of every household amenity. And, they are obviously all over the world, and like times like now, they are ships that are captured at sea, for example, and seafarers can't even get off the ship to, go ashore and see something different than the waters, etc., etc. So getting into focus, as I said, Sunday is Sea Sunday, this Sunday. And if I can backtrack a little bit to Sea Sunday 2023, which was held at Seafarers Hall, this was a totally resounding event. We joined in with celebrations all over the world as we shared with the Society of St. Vincent de Paul and other international seamen's associations to which our own seamen were members during their tenure at sea. You can still watch the 2023 program on Cayman Life TV, and once again I'd like to thank April Cummings for her contribution. The theme of the event last year, though not planned to be so, turned out to be the new poverty. A question I highlighted in my closing speech. This drew seafarers' interest more than anything. The realization of the new poverty in the Cayman Islands is soul-wrenching. Since then, I've been asked by our own seafarers to make sure to invite, for want of a better word, our people to consider this situation, of which many people here don't seem conscious, bothered, thoughtful, or are deliberately ignoring, thinking that there is nothing that can be done. So here we are now at Sea Sunday 2024, and this year we have asked the churches which represent and preach faith, our Christian faith, to take the sacred lead this Sunday, July 14, in thanksgiving and celebrations of our seafaring history, culture, heritage, and I like to add inheritance, which emanates from our own seafarers, led by our Lord himself, whom we often do not even consider did an awful lot of his work on the seas. Poor is the one who has no option to choose. I repeat, poor is the one who has no option to choose. I literally saw our seafarers' ears raise up when I spoke to that, and that made me cry. It seemed they knew exactly what I was about to say. Yes, with regards to Cayman and our heritage, those words hit hard when they vibrate in our ears and we hear them with listening ears that echo the words of our Lord. Listen if you have ears. So
He
what
that hath ears, let him hear.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what struck last year as being the new poverty in the Cayman Islands? Well, it is a very broad scope of complexity where we are lost in artificial intelligence. We have heard so much, and there are so many interruptions in trying to hear. We are no longer listening, therefore not hearing, not sharing, and thus not caring for each other, as is our Caymanian nature. Our seafarers were grateful that I opened the conversation, and so with their encouragement for this year, 2024, I decided to learn more and pass on what is relevant in the ways that at my age I can see the difference and hopefully be influential to the children of my generation who can actually see a difference, educate their own children who presently are so distant and desperate to the point of not wanting to live. Suicide and mental health are the primary life issues affecting us at this time. And we wonder why, when he hath founded it upon the seas. Where is our faith, the faith of our fathers? So, here is my learning, which I hope will ignite or further open up many, many and ongoing conversations on how we, humanity, have become artificial or false. Yes, unreal, and having no life, no feeling, no motivation. Just to press a button and get the believed answer to everything. So I learned. You ready?
Mm-hmm. What's that?
When I was just a girl in Cayman Brac, with hardly any awareness of the outside world, the business of artificial intelligence began in 1956. Yes, you heard me right, 1956, after World War II, as an innovative academic discipline focused on defense at the time, particularly in the United States. Post-war, there existed the need for artillery machinery to be able to communicate with other machines for the purpose of strategic protection in and from the air, on the ground, and under the sea. Artificial intelligence began as a focus on defense in case of more war.
Mm-hmm.
DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, established AI labs in major universities, fostering innovation and collaboration, and the military sought AI for target tracking and surveillance, and data analysis for tasks like automated reasoning, pattern recognition, and decision-making. These systems aimed to mimic human reasoning and provide insights for military operations through machine learning. In fact, today, the U.S. Department of Defense continues to lead in artificial intelligence. The whole study of AI is fascinating and results in the initial founding of the Internet. That carried on to today, when very many people throughout the world are very scared of the capabilities of artificial intelligence, which is the world of technology. With the Internet came the cell phone, and data shows in 2020 AI progressed to where 3-year-old boys and girls don't leave home without their phone. Babies today play on their cell phones. The cell phone has become our family life. It's in our hands even when we are seated at the home dining table for a family meal. The cell phone is in our hands even at church. While we are sleeping, it's on the bed beside us. It's in the hands of politicians while they're supposed to be discussing life's future. So, AI has influenced society and increased automation and data-driven decisions in areas of life impacting, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The job markets, healthcare, governments, industry, education, propaganda advertising, and disinformation. Artificial intelligence is about technology, not about people and our naturally intelligent disposition given by God. AI is intended to enhance general intelligence by the ability of computers to complete any task performable by humans at the minimum equal level. Should I continue?
Yeah. We have about 2 minutes before we're going to go to the break, and then we're going to join Mr. Denniston Tibbetts. We're going to have him join us.
Good stuff. So AI draws on psychology, linguistics, philosophy, and neuroscience. Today, humans are being asked by robots, which are presently the lead in artificial intelligence, to prove that we are human. The dominant force behind it all, however, remains the Department of Defense, especially today, where the world really is at war. Because where there isn't the fact of war, there is the threat of war. And war is, as described by some politicians, trickle-down economics. Human life has taken second place to technology. So what does AI have to do with Sea Sunday? It's the awareness of our seafarers and what we are doing to ourselves when the few who are still alive with us are unable to assist us in keeping the principles of human life, indeed, alive. And this is why the appeal to celebrate our seafaring heritage on Sea Sunday is put to the Church this year. Faith is the essence and what inspired our seafarers to head out to sea as they saw they were living the experience. Poor is the one who has no option to choose.
Mm-hmm. Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. When we return, we're going to link up with the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts, as well. Don't change that dial for the record. We'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Tired of feeling exhausted, no matter how much sleep you get? It could be sleep apnea, a condition affecting millions of people that often goes undiagnosed. At Total Health, we believe in the power of preventative care. That's why we're offering at-home Level 2 sleep studies, convenient, comfortable, and conducted in the privacy of your own home. Untreated, sleep apnea can lead to serious health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Our comprehensive approach means you get personalized care from start to finish. Wake up to a healthier tomorrow with Total Health. Contact us today at 333-2222 or visit totalhealth.ky to schedule your at-home Level 2 sleep study. Because a good night's sleep is just the beginning. Total Health, your partner in preventative care.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have Miss Merle McGann. We're going to be joining the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts, on the phone. Before I do that, though, we've been asked to send belated birthday greetings to Shanda Purcell. So belated birthday greetings going out to Shanda Purcell. Let's go to the phone lines. Mr. Tibbetts, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record, and we are extremely grateful that you're able to join us, by phone this morning, taking into consideration the challenges that you have this morning as well. Good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Good morning, Merle. Good morning to the wide Cayman Islands.
Yes.
I'm well, you know that I kind of gave you a WhatsApp of what I encountered recently. But anyway, let's go back to. I heard a little piece of what Merle was saying. By the way, me and Merle are cousins. So.
I told you that after this you'll still keep me as your cousin, right?
Well, I think Merle has told you exactly what has happened. We all have our challenges. But the 2 or 3 years, I think it was 3 years that we did one in Cayman Brac and 2 here.
Right.
So
this is our 4th year.
This is our 4th year, but everybody is kind of busy, and it was done under the auspices of the Catholic. What's the name of
Society of St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul, through the Catholic faith. But this year, Merle is busy, and she spearheaded the whole thing from its inception. We had the first one at Lobster Pot, which was very, very well received. We had the second one, I think, in Cayman Brac.
Yeah.
And it was also well received. And then last year we had it here at the Seafarers Hall, and it was super, super.
It really was.
Yeah, we anticipated doing it for the 4th time this year, but Merle had her challenges. I have mine, and it never came off because the second Sunday of July is almost past, and we haven't. But she has done some work with trying to get other people involved to no avail. So that's as far as I know. But maybe Merle can enlighten us some more.
Sure. Yeah, Ms. Merle, you want to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you face in relation to this? I know, off mic or earlier before we went on air, you spoke about it as well, and you're really trying to have, all of the churches, irrespective of the denomination, to get involved in one way or the other, in relation to this.
Right, because it's an autonomous celebration that includes all faith, all religions, all belief, all people from everywhere, and it's not something that I, Merle, am planning to give up on, to be very frank. As is well known, I have most of my professional life in the travel business, and I know for a fact that our financial and tourism industries are built on our seafaring.
No
and
question.
There is no denying that.
Yep.
And we have to keep it alive. We have an obligation, a moral obligation to ourselves, not to anybody else, but to ourselves, to keep our seafaring history, culture, heritage, and as I said, I like to add inheritance, alive.
Yeah.
As Caymanians, you know.
Seafaring was a rite of passage at one time for Caymanians. It was a part of your upbringing, part of your life.
Right.
You know, as soon as you reached that age that you could go to sea, that is what you did.
Right. But I think, too, what happened with our progress in finance and tourism, and again, that's all historical, where, you know, we had a tendency towards banking, for example, you know, and other professions in that world, right? And then, of course, there's tourism. Now, Caymanians have not put enough of, and this is me talking, and I'm talking professionally, and I'm speaking firmly. We have not put enough of ourselves into the business of tourism, and we have allowed that the foreign market has taken over. You know, there's of course all this discussion, conversations that never cease, where, you know, we've sold ourselves, etc. We've sold out and what have you, and we have, but I'm not going to sit here and look you in the eye and tell you that that is not something that we can correct. I was listening earlier, and reference was made to various jobs, for example, that should be specific to Caymanians, and those jobs were at one point specific to Caymanians, and they should be, you know. And if we, as a people, as Caymanians, really bring ourselves together and out of our passivity, right? And begin to work on our own identification once again, our own voice once again, we can solve all of this.
Yep.
We can.
Yep.
But the big issue is getting us up off our duff and coming together to do it.
Before I bring Mr. Tibbetts back into the conversation, the colonial records show, I'm trying to remember now, it's 1946 or 1955, I believe it is 1955, that the annual revenues received or remittances received from our seamen, $1.5 million annually in the 1950s.
Look at that.
Were remitted to the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands Savings Bank had deposits, and this is now, you know, in addition to people investing their money into, you know, buying land, if they had to buy land, getting the blocks, hiring Mr. Brown and Mr. Sammy and Mr. Ashler Godfrey and Mr. Kitchener Solomon, all of those carpenters and stuff like that. And the government savings bank had something like 120-something thousand pounds in it at that point in time as well, all from our seafarers, all from our seamen. I think at that time it was some 600 and odd, or maybe more than that, who were at sea at that time.
Yeah.
Mr. Tibbetts, let's bring you back into the conversation, sir.
I was just listening to Moral, but, you know, I'm not sure if we put enough emphasis to the people who come here, because the people that come here, they just see what we already have. It was rumored, and I think it was proven, that in 1959, the government savings bank, because of all of the seamen that were sending home allotments and all that, the government itself couldn't pay their staff, and the seafarers stepped in and said, "Okay, take our money and pay for it." That was the kind of relationship that we had with the seafarers and the government. Nowadays, people, and I take umbrage to people who come and don't know what they've come. I mean, I remember trying to sell calendars about 3 years ago. down on what used to be the bypass, the Linford Pearson Highway. And this guy comes and says, "Get out of the road because we're in a hurry." And he you know, it's appalling. And needless to say, I didn't take that too good, and I told the guy so because it was a line of traffic. And he was able to hear my. But the thing about it, 90% of the people who come here working, they don't know one iota how we came to have been doing or what we were doing to get to where we are now. You know, and it's when I was a boy in Kimon-Brack, 99.9% of the eligible men went to sea. That was the only vocation that you had. Nobody knew anything about banking and all that thing. Now we're the fifth largest, supposedly the fifth largest banking industry in the whole world. But it was not always like that. So people have to remember where we're coming from, and they have to learn. So I don't know whether it's not being taught, it's not on the curriculum, it's being taught to the school children. Because I've met a lot. I go around whenever I'm asked to talk about seafaring to the various schools, but it's not on the curriculum. You know, and I think that government needs to, the education department especially, needs to do something about that, because the children. I mean, when I grew up in Jamaica, and I knew about I studied about Morant Bay Rebellion and the Arawak Indians and all that, you know. And here is nothing like that.
The kids have no idea.
It's that's my take on it. As far as the seafarers, as the Sea Sunday goes, it's something that was very. Merle and I and other people did it for 3 years, and it was very successful. Now, because she's going through her problems and I'm going through mine, there's nobody else want to take it up. And it's very unfortunate, you know. It's very, very unfortunate.
Okay. I'm going to pause you there, Mr. Tippett, so we can take a commercial break. We're going to ask you to still hold on to the line. When we return, we will continue the conversation. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
July is Laundry Month at Brand Source Home Gallery. Get ready to save big with 15% off on all washers and dryers, both domestic and commercial, and 30% off on selected laundry items.
Is your washer or dryer on its last spin? Now's the time to upgrade. From GE, LG, Samsung, Beko, Electrolux to Frigidaire, save up to 30% on laundry appliances during the month of July.
Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Check out brandsourcekman.com for more deals. Voted Best Appliance Store of 2023.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for
social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Sea Sunday, celebrated on the second Sunday in July. So it falls on the 14th of July this year, 2024. Sunday. And that conversation is taking place with Ms. Merle McGann and Mr. Denston Tibbetts. Mr. Tibbetts is the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association. One of our listeners has reacted and responded to the idea of teaching or seafaring history in our schools, and the person says it should be under social studies. They say, like when they were in primary school, we even learned about the Arawaks and the Caribs. And quite possible, I don't know the age of this person, but it is quite possible that those days our history books, our curriculum was probably determined by others, because don't forget now, we are still a crown colony, but we were really a colony, in earlier days as well, a real colony. But we here in the Cayman Islands now have the ability to decide what our curriculum will be. And while we may need to adhere to international standards to ensure that at an academic level, our students are on par with everyone else, we also have that opportunity to decide whether or not we're going to teach our history in our schools and what it is. Because remember, in those days, it was the victors and those who were in control who decided what the history was, who decided to write the history. We have an opportunity to write our own history now, and we need to do it. So, Mr. Tibbetts, if you can indicate to us how long you are able to stay on with us. We're going to stretch it out for both you and Ms. Merle, because this topic is so important. So we're going to go beyond the 9 o'clock time that we had assigned for this. If you're able to accommodate us as well, please let us know.
Well, I'm trying, but my youngest daughter is here visiting from Florida. She's a teacher over there.
Okay.
And I'm with the other daughter because I'm not able to drive it.
Well, just let us know when you have to leave. Let us know.
Well, we're going to the airport now, so.
Okay.
What I was going to say, Denniston, you see now, just like last year we came on and OC kept us longer. Now look at this. Today was meant to be, right? Because here we are doing basically what we would have done if we had had a formal occasion with the seafarers this year. You see how God works?
Yeah, I agree, and it's very unfortunate that through your efforts with the other churches and the other denominations that they haven't come on board. But it's something.
Well, I know some. To be fair, there are some, not very many, who have participated in the 3 years. I think I would get into deep trouble if I mentioned any names. They know who they are, and that's wonderful. And good grief, I think OC is going to go into a call-in session, and hopefully they'll call in,
Yeah. Well, I'll be listening. I'm on my way now to the airport to take my daughter and my grandson. Okay. So they go back to Florida, but I can still talk until it is not talkable anymore.
Okay. Okay. Well, you let us know when.
Good stuff. I feel happy.
Okay. So, Ms. Merle.
Yes.
One of the suggestions, or one of the things that I thought about, is that the Psalm 24 if we could encourage all pastors on Sunday, the 14th, to concentrate and to focus their sermons on that particular psalm. And I just want to share this with the audience, if you will indulge me. What does Psalm 24 verse 2 mean? And it says, the point here is not about the exact construction of the planet. Even as stated, the meaning is not that the earth rests on water. Rather, this refers to how God separated the land from the water. He formed the sea and the rivers, the lakes and streams, the springs, ponds, and waterfalls. Genesis 1 verse 2 points out that when God initiated this creation, the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. When civilization reached its lowest moral point, God demonstrated clearly that He owns the waters. He sent floods to sweep away the entire corrupt human race, with the exception of righteous Noah and his family, which is Genesis 6, verse 9. The Apostle Peter reminds us that the earth was formed out of water, and through water, by the word of God, the land appeared from the water, and that by means of these, the world that existed was deluged with water and perished. The Lord's ownership of the waters is further illustrated by the fact that He caused the floods in Noah's time to abate, so that dry land appeared again. If we could encourage all pastors to focus on that verse, Psalm 24, verse 2, that in itself would be an accomplishment. Would you say?
Absolutely. Man cannot, actually the world cannot survive without our faith, right? And we're at the point where that is being taken away. It's been so liquefied, that I don't know. What I can say to you, again, coming back into focus of our seafarers, is last year when I referred to poverty and the new poverty, I saw our seafarers, and they're old gentlemen. There were some very elderly wives there too, and many of their children, because at the time, to be honest with you, we were launching the history of turtlers and schooners in the Cayman Islands. And, seafaring is the establishment of the Cayman Islands, and this history will remain as the core of our being all over the world and throughout life until the end of time. So as you were just saying...
Can I interject 1 minute?
Sure. Go right ahead.
I say this every time I go to talk to students, and it's still happening, and it will forever happen, as Merle said. 93% of what we wear, what we drink, what we eat, what we drive, comes by boat.
Exactly.
People don't understand that. If you want something by plane, you pay extra for it. And, people have to understand that what they come here and see is something that was built for many years ago, from the turtles right down to the Southwell years.
Right.
Yeah. We have one caller on WhatsApp. Paul, do we want to do the headline news first and then grab the caller, or how do you want to do that? Too early for headline news? Okay, let's grab the caller then. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning again, Bossy. How are you doing again? And Miss the lady there.
Miss Merle, yes.
Yeah, Miss Merle. And Mr. Denniston as well. I think, I'm a seafarer, but I think that we need to promote seafaring in Cayman more. I mean, I remember in Colin Panton time and Miss Gwen, right there where the Port Authority is in that area, right there, that little cabana where the tenders come in. That is where the little gas station was. Where I remember the men lining up there. Mr. Connor, remember Mr. Wilco shop right across there as well. And the men would line up there in the mornings all day, sometime waiting to get shipped out and whatnot. And I think Mr. Denniston touched on it already. Many of the people that come here, they don't realize that the seafarers were the ones that built this island. I think I was making $80. I think when I had to send that home, I could spend my overtime money. But, I mean, we went all over, and we need to promote seafaring more in the Cayman Islands. We need to have a place somewhere in town, this is my opinion, where some of the older heads can go and sit down and talk to visitors and stuff like that, and let them know really what sea life was and how it was in the early years with national boat carriers. I don't think the seafarers is being promoted enough. That is my opinion.
Okay.
I agree
you.
with you. I agree with you entirely.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, folks. Top of the hour, headline news. When we return, the conversation with Mr. Denston Tibbetts and Miss Merle McGann will continue about Sea Sunday. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Deputy Premier and Minister for Financial Services and Commerce led a Cayman Islands delegation to Singapore. While there, he participated in an invite-only European Commission and Financial Action Task Force organized side event discussion on beneficial ownership and officially opened the government's Asia office in Singapore. The Israeli military has told all residents of Gaza City to evacuate south to the central Gaza Strip amid an intensified offensive there. Leaflets dropped by aircraft instruct, quote, everyone in Gaza City to leave what is described as a dangerous combat zone by designated safe routes. The UN has said it is deeply concerned about the evacuation orders being given. Over the past 2 weeks, Israeli forces have issued evacuation orders and re-entered several areas of Gaza City where they believe Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad have regrouped since the start of the year. And police have made a direct appeal to Kyle Clifford, a 26-year-old, to contact them in relation to the deaths of 3 women in the UK. Officers were called to Hertfordshire just before 7 p.m. on Tuesday. All 3 died at the scene. In an update, the chief superintendent says the victims are 25, 28, and 61 years old and thought to be related to each other. Police believe this was a targeted attack carried out with a crossbow and possibly other weapons. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Sea Sunday with Mr. Denniston Tibbetts, the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, and he will signal us when he has to leave us. He's connected by phone, and right here in the studio with me we have Miss Merle McGann, who really is the person who spearheads the whole Sea Sunday event in conjunction with the Society of
St. Vincent de
Paul.
But I'm also working very hard at it now on my own.
On your own, yes.
Yeah, because I'm coming back out into the public in the business of travel from the perspective of integral human development.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were coming out and going to be a candidate in the next election.
Do you know how many times I've been asked to run, but I suspect they'd put me in jail. Thank you for saying that.
Sure. The mic is yours. Go right ahead.
Actually, you know who used to encourage me to go into politics was Mr. Bostock.
Okay.
And I said, Mr. Bozzy, I can't do that.
Don't bother with that.
He said, yeah, no, I would never do it. Don't worry. Remember, Percy tried and didn't win, so.
Hello.
Anyways, yeah, as I said, and OC intimated earlier, we need to reclaim our motto that he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the waters. Because a new poverty in the Cayman Islands is the liquidation of our faith and our moral values. This is why the words, poor is the one who has no option to choose, echoed in the ears of our seafarers, who desire that our new poverty be examined immediately, so to prevent our overextending our capabilities in the wrong direction. Though we do have to keep up with the technological advances, which will not now cease perhaps in our own lifetimes. We cannot now tell the difference between ourselves and robots, perhaps until we touch each other and realize our own godliness. So as I said, all our churches for which I could find email communication have been contacted to celebrate this Sunday, Sea Sunday. So, may God continue to grant the Cayman Islands his divine grace and mercy by the example of our faith. Our seafaring heritage calls us to persevering prayer. And in this peaceless time in which the devil is harvesting souls to draw them into himself, these souls, especially and unfortunately our young people, are experiencing hopelessness and taking their own lives in that sadness. Persevering prayer, so that we discover and rediscover the God of hope and love. Inside our seafaring heritage and culture, we find the encouragement of love to always win in a special way now that the cross and faith are rejected. I've often wondered, many times, since our seafarers were known as the best in the world, what it would be like for our finance and tourism, built by our seafarers, that Caymanians be a reflection of an example with our lives that faith and hope are still alive and a new world of peace and love is possible.
Okay.
Well, if I could interject.
Sure, go right ahead. We have a caller, but we'll let you finish first. Go ahead.
Everything that you said, Merle, is correct. And I'd just like to get back to that caller. I'm not sure that... I said I'm not sure, but I do think that it has to be on the curriculum so Caymanian young people know about it so that they can in turn educate the people who come and work together with them. Because if that is not going to happen, many years ago, I think you remember when Mr. Jim was a minister, he actually started a marine school.
Yes.
And it petered off because nobody was interested in it.
But that's because our focus was more on the banking business, isn't that right?
Yes, but I'm saying the people, the average person who leaves school now, when they leave school, they don't want to hear nothing about going to sea. They want to hear about banking or accounting or some other thing other than
law.
And law too. But are we being taught as children when we go to school? I mean, I mentioned earlier that I grew up in Jamaica, and so did you, Merle. And we learn about all of the history of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Are these children learning about the history of the Caymanian seamen? And I'd venture to say right now that even though at the time we were declared the world's best seamen, I would venture to say that any of my seafarers, I call them, my members, if they go on a ship right now, they'll still be the best seamen in the world.
There you go.
So it behoves all of us, and especially the education ministry, teach the young people from school days all about seafaring, from the turtles right back to the Southwell years. I was fortunate I didn't have to go, but I wanted to go because I was following my father. He was a sea captain, And my brother, who passed away, unfortunately, God rest his soul, he went too. Kurt didn't. That was beyond his caliber at the time, but he excelled otherwise. But
you can say that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was through being brought up the correct way, and our parents doing what was right at the time.
Let's grab the caller before you lose you, Mr. Tibbetts. Caller, is it on the WhatsApp, Paul? Or caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and good morning to the lady. I don't know who the lady is or haven't met her.
That's Miss Merle McGann.
I'm a Worms, if that
Yes.
makes me more known.
Oh, Merle, look, I think I know you. This is Armand in West Bay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
It's so good you're here.
Thank you. I just want to say that the seamen of these islands, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman, all of the islands, we are so left out of what's going on in modern day. It's okay to have this celebration that you're talking about, whether it's going to be a service or what you're going to have, but we are so out of touch, or the world is so out of touch with us, precisely because of we don't have anything like promotion. Merchant Marine Seaman Day should be a public holiday, just like they have in other countries, whether it's the 4th of July. We are left out. We are practically not reckoned. Until we get somebody that decide that, we really have to respect the seamen of this island and bring it up front. It is just a thing in limbo. I am so tired of hearing hullabaloos about the seamen. It is not what we are expecting. A lot of the seamen are getting too old to even say a lot. But, this is not good enough. This is far from good enough. Like we're talking about on the waterfront, about telling stories and all of that. Let's look at that good piece of property, which is supposed to be, from what I understand, the Seaman's property, next to Norberg Bakery, the Wholesome Bakery. That is a perfect place to have a multi-story building with the bottom floor being for the seamen, something that we are recognized. We should have a public holiday. This piecemeal bits and pieces is not good enough, and I am very annoyed and upset in seeing the way that the seaman has been treated ever since. We've gone and forgotten until we have somebody that decide we're going to grab the bull by the horns and really show the people something about the seamen of the Cayman Islands. We are so left out. Sometimes I just don't want to talk about it. I hope what I said is not too offensive, but it is the truth. And I just want to listen a little more. But anyway, Merle, you have a good day. And also, nice to talk to you, and have a good day too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
July is Laundry Month at Brand Source Home Gallery. Get ready to save big with 15% off on all washers and dryers, both domestic and commercial, and 30% off on selected laundry items.
Is your washer or dryer on its last spin? Now's the time to upgrade. From GE, LG, Samsung, Beko, Electrolux to Frigidaire. Save up to 30% on laundry appliances during the month of July.
Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park, or call 623-5000.
Check out BrandSourceCayman.com for more deals. Voted Best Appliance Store of 2023.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Sea Sunday with Miss Merle McGann and Mr. Denniston Tibbetts. Mr. Tibbetts is on the phone line. One of our listeners wrote and said, based on one caller's point about promoting, highlighting the seafarers, perhaps we need more landmarks in Georgetown. We have Seafarers Way, but in my opinion, the revitalization of Georgetown should be about highlighting the history of our capital and not just about fixing the roads. I just again want to share, with our listeners this because we keep talking about it. It's extremely important. 1946, Colonial Office in talking about banking in the Cayman Islands, in their report on banking in the Cayman Islands, it says no banking facilities are available save those afforded by the Government Savings Bank, which conducts business at Georgetown, Grand Cayman, and at Stake Bay, Cayman Brac. The bank was established in 1908, the Cayman Brac branch being opened in 1934. So 26 years after the Grand Cayman, it was opened in Cayman Brac. At the end of 1941, there were 478 open accounts. Remember that number, bear that in mind. 478 open accounts, and the amount inclusive of interest standing to the credit of depositors was £15,144. Keep that in mind, folks. 478 accounts. The amount including interest, $15,144. The corresponding figure at the end of March 1946, 5 years later, were 1,353, up from 478, and 115,681 pounds respectively. And why was all of this? The report says the stated growth of business done by the bank during recent years is due to a great extent to the increased remittances received from Caymanians engaged in the various capacities overseas, and the facilities of the bank are year by year being more greatly utilized.
Mm-hmm.
That's the foundation for the Cayman Islands. Jumping from 478 account holders, and in 5 years going up to 1,353, and increasing the deposits by over £100,000 as well.
Yep.
Folks, I'm going to pass the mic back over to you. I've had my say.
Oh gosh, I'm stunned now. And I wanted to get back to you for a moment and let you know that we can feel your passion. We feel the hurt. And you're absolutely right. It needs to happen. It must happen, because if it doesn't happen, we indeed are wiping ourselves out.
We're lost.
Exactly.
Gone.
Exactly. So, and you're not alone, Armand. I said to OC during the break, do you feel his passion? Which he agreed. And I told him, all the seafarers who speak to me now about our seafaring, that passion is very, very much alive. And really and truly, they deserve our response. We are not who we are without them, you know. I remember, for example, as a little girl, by the way, talking about allotments and so on, my mother would give me a list, and I would just take the list and go to Mr. Nat's shop and hand the list. And then I got the brown paper bag with all of what my mother had asked for. I never ever paid for anything, you know. So again, the trust and the sharing and the awareness of each other, that is our Caymanian nature. It really is. It really is.
That was a way of life in those days.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not anymore. But I just like to say that all of a sudden, I think government now has some part. I don't recall the name of the department, but very recently, I was interviewed by a lady from one of the ministries. I can't remember what the name is, because of this. The last schooner that was built by Caymanians, the Fairweather, is now in England being re-rigged and replanked and putting her ready. And she's supposed to come here, I think it's November this year.
Okay.
And she'll be used as a tourist attraction in town. Eventually, what they plan to do is to make a replica of her and have it at the Seafarers Park, which has now changed. I spoke about that last time I was on radio.
Yeah.
It's now changed to down by the Catboat Club, because the craft market has now taken over where we were scheduled to be, and we have asked the powers that be to extend Seafarers away from Mary Street all the way down to Dixie, I call it, by Delaware Station, Eastern Avenue.
Right.
So if all of that comes into being, and it's not part of culture anymore, it's part of the tourism attraction. So we're now under the tourism ministry. But also, England must have initiated this, because the government representative in England, Dr. Ebanks.
Tasha Garcia. Ebanks,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Or Ebanks Garcia.
She made an extended interview with me, and it was very professionally done. I haven't seen it yet, but the questions that she asked was all pertaining to the ocean. And I answered them as best as I could, and she was very satisfied with it. So something has been churning and being done about that. We just celebrated International Day of the Seafarer, is June 25th every year. And, we try to accommodate and do things. As a matter of fact, there was I can't remember who it was, but somebody made a point in one of the newspapers about International Seafarers Day. So it's not so much that we're totally forgotten, it's just that the powers that be have forgotten us. I think that is the crux of the whole thing. And like I hate to say this, but it goes back to the children not being taught. It's not a part of the curriculum.
Yep.
But, I have to leave shortly, but it is something that I'm engrossed in the whole thing, and it forms a part of seafaring. Incidentally, you might, Merle, as Kim Brackers, we never used to have electricity. We never used to have.
That's something we've been talking about as well.
But the seafarers in Cayman Brack formed their association before it was formed in Cayman. They were formed in 1992, and the association here wasn't formed until 1994.
Right.
And they included veterans in their thing. Down here, veterans is a different entity altogether. I only say that boasting about my Cayman Brackers because I remember that is part of the reason why I grew up in Jamaica, or why we all grew up in Jamaica, because there was nothing else after Standard 6. That was it.
Yeah.
There were no doctors there. There was no hospital.
Right.
And we even built our own hospital. So you need some of that Caymanianship to come back with the powers that be.
Right. We need to really hold hands again.
Okay. Mr. Tibbetts, we're gonna let you go now. We know and want to thank you very much, for your indulgence, as well. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to keep Miss Merle right in the studio here. As a matter of fact, we're going to just go right up until 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, my
Folks,
goodness.
don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
July is Laundry Month at Brand Source Home Gallery. Get ready to save big with 15% off on all washers and dryers, both domestic and commercial, and 30% off on selected laundry items.
Is your washer or dryer on its last spin? Now's the time to upgrade. From GE, LG, Samsung, Beko, Electrolux to Frigidaire, save up to 30% on laundry appliances during the month of July.
Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Check out brandsourcecayman.com for more deals. Voted Best Appliance Store of 2023.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment is to ensure our islands consider responsible use of our natural resources while preserving our native species and habitats for future generations. Learn more at conservation.ky.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Miss Merle is going to stay with us until 10 o'clock. So I just want to acknowledge a birthday shout out. So I've been asked to wish Kanaya James, who celebrates her 17th birthday today. Birthday greetings are coming from your grandma, Mrs. Ruth James, also from your mom and dad, Dwayne James, and sister Kiara James, aunties, uncles, cousins, with lots of love. Enjoy your special day. So those are birthday greetings going out to Kanaya James, who's celebrating her 17th birthday today. We have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning. It's me again, Armand.
Yes, sir.
Just quickly, I want to say that I'm quite happy to have Ms. Morrill on the show this morning talking about the seaman situation and what we represent. And then I want to say, before we had an airport in Cayman, we had seaplanes.
Right.
It was Caymanians that donated money, seamen donated money to help to start Owen Roberts International Airport. And if we remember right, Owen Roberts was the pilot that crashed in Palisados Airport in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Captain Keith Tibbetts donated some money towards the starting of that airport as well. Mr. George Ebanks, Halle is known, he donated £400. Mr. Stafford Ebanks Captain Cadian Ebank. There's a whole list of people that donated money. So what I'm saying, before we had this international airport, Seaman again was such a godsend to this island, and they have contributed so much to these islands that it's high time that we certainly give them maximum recognition. So that's all I want to say. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much. Miss Merle, one of our listeners has shared with us, and they say, OC, Merle and Denniston, FYI, Triple C has a senior credit requirement course on Cayman history. It is a requirement for graduation and has been part of the curriculum for many years. There were components of Cayman history in the lower grades as well, although I am no longer sure of that now. So they're not sure whether or not it is in the lower grades still, but they do have a required course on Cayman history at Triple C School. That is good to know as well.
My son graduated from Triple C School, so I'm glad to hear that. And I'm not saying that there has been no reference. There is reference, but it needs to be formalized.
Yeah.
I think that is the word. It needs to be formalized.
And it needs to be more than a reference.
Exactly.
It needs to be embedded in there. Well, let's give a little bit more history here. 1947, Colonial Report on seamen. And it reads, a number of Cayman Island seamen continue to be employed on North and Central American-owned vessels, and the remittances made by these men to their families have a considerable effect on the economy of the dependency, because they refer to Cayman Islands, they call it the dependency. Everything was the dependency, right? A large number of seamen recruited in 1946 by the Lago Oil and Transport Company of Aruba, Dutch West Indies, have returned to the dependency and are now awaiting other employment. Some of these men completed their contracts with the company and are eligible for re-employment. That was important. Cayman seamen, they wanted to ensure that they made a commitment. If it was for 12 months, they completed their contract for 7 months. That also meant that they got free transport back home as well. They didn't have to pay for the transport, as opposed to if they left voluntarily before the contract as well. We have another caller, and I know, Ms. Merle, you love to hear the callers call in as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. I gotta say what other people say, OC Connor. As if we don't know what
OC is for, right?
Yeah. And good morning to your panel.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, see, I think I heard you mention when I was getting in the car earlier about the $1.something million remittance that was generated by the seaman to the economy. And you also spoke about the balance at the government savings bank. Was that all the money that was in the bank? Was that all the money that was in the bank, and was that all generated by Caymanians?
I would imagine it didn't specify, but I would imagine that is what it was all about. Yeah,
because it said it was an annual report.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So we wouldn't have had nobody transferring no money.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no
money.
No wire transfers or anything.
That savings bank, right? So I say that to say then we were the people who built all these people that like to jump off the plane and come here and show in our face that they built Cayman, then they need to be listening to this show. They should be listening to this show. they should be listening to this show.
Thank you.
They should be listening to the lady you have there.
Yes.
And the gentleman on the phone.
Yep.
That's what they should be listening to. And stop telling us about them to come here and build. We were the island that time forgot until we made them recognize who we were.
The islands that time forgot. That is another slogan that we need to bring back. How we let that liquefy is a shame.
Yeah. How did we make that get away?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
We are too easy to make people come here and dilute our history, our culture, and everything else that was Caymanian. We're too easy. We're too
we allow them to take charge of everything, to commandeer, or,
we are said to be too passive.
Yes. Docile.
Cayman. What is Cayman? We got a new name for it now. Cayman kind. Oh my God.
Cayman too kind.
Exactly. We're too kind.
Yeah, right. We got it. You got it. Yeah. I just wanted to call in, OC, and clarify all the money that generated. And then two, OC, you know what? I think that the women of that era, just like how the seamen of that era was giving this remittance or this from government.
Yeah, they were the managers.
I think the women should be given. Because make me tell you, a lot of them men went to sea, and if it wasn't for the captain insisting that they send home money, they wouldn't have sent home any money.
They had a great time.
The old drunken sailor syndrome, right?
But guess what? The women were here with the children, not only cooking and cleaning and all that, they also took part in the industry. They made the rope, all that kind of thing, and sent it to Jamaica or wherever it was that were buying rope.
Correct.
Paid, and that money was put into the economy here because you had to wait monthly for allotment.
Yep.
But on a daily basis, they were laying rope and cutting thatch and doing everything they could do to generate funds, overseas funds to come here, to also put into the economy. So all that money that went in the bank, that wasn't all about no man sending home money. A lot of that was generated by the strong women back here home here. So government need to look about having a fund for them too. Because half of these old men now, after they get up in the age, they're going in leaving their wife behind these young girls, and the young girls now are entitled to the damn money. That's wrong.
But the good thing is that they have to wait. They have to wait until they reach retirement age before they can collect.
They were not here in that era. They did not take part in that era.
Yeah. But remember now, we put forward some suggestions in relation to that as well. How they should deal with that as well. But
we had this conversation before.
Yep, man. Thank you very much for that as well.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Good, very good show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
God bless.
Miss Merle, we're getting a lot of feedback here. Here's another person who wrote in and said, I am thoroughly enjoying the discussion about the contributions by the seafarers. I just want to mention that the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps, under the Ministry of Home Affairs, recently honored the seafarers in two major ways. One, the commissioning of the Sea Cadets vessel in the name of the MV Miss Gwen, and two, rebranding the Sea Cadets and creating a logo with the name Seafarers prominently featured in the crest. In this way, all young boys and girls participating in the Sea Cadets will wear the name Seafarers, which will be featured prominently on their headdress. And they have attached a few photos, for reference in that regard as well.
Lovely.
So want to thank you. And then they sent photographs of seafarers in attendance at the commissioning ceremony as well. I'll forward this on to you.
We read about all these things and we're aware that things are happening, but what needs to happen is that it all needs to somehow be brought together as one, where we say indeed to the whole world, this is Cayman. This is us. That's what needs to happen. And after the show today, I hope God gives me the grace that I can do a lot of work to help to do so.
Yes, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. We're going to have still another 13, 14 minutes of talk time. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money transfer card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Miss Merle McGann, talking about Sea Sunday, celebrated, which will be celebrated this coming Sunday, the 14th of July. Before I throw the mic back over to her, I just want to go through some of the comments. Our good friend over in Pennsylvania has written and said the Scotia Bank building, which is now the court's office, that building could easily be renamed Seafarers Building. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Cullen Panton had an office on that property. Of course, there was a Shell gas station that was right there. There was a big, I'm trying to remember, I think it was a star apple tree that was there, either star apple, guinea or something, where Mr. Craddock, the late Mr. Craddock Ebanks, would have his bus. Before it used to be the truck and then the bus parked there, but there was a Shell gas station that was owned by the Pantons that was located there, and Miss Marie from Barton Town, she used to run that, as well. Let's look at some of the other messages that we have in. Graham said what I wanted to. There's someone on Radio Cayman who mentioned to you as Mr. O.C. Connor. So please, if you may, let them all know now that really is. Doesn't matter what they call me as long as they call me. I don't mind it at all. But yeah, the
OC wonder what the C means.
The OC was a nickname that my school friends, at high school, we used each person's initials and we put a saying behind the acronym. So the person said, "Would you please mention?" the guest name and contact. Miss Merle McGann is a guest in the studio, and if she wants to give the contact number out, I will give her an opportunity to do that as well. Let's quickly go through the other ones and see. Person says, I believe for us to be brought together is to join in acceptance as one here in the Cayman Islands, abolish the fear of scrutiny. And this last one, okay, this person is asking me to give you their phone number, and I'll do that after as well. So, Mike is yours now. We have about 12 minutes. You may want to rehash what we talk about. Oh, we have a caller on hold? Okay, we'll take the caller and then give Miss Merle an opportunity for his clue
This is
to rehash.
a surprise for me. I never expected to be here so long.
Caller,
but
good morning.
That's fine. It's wonderful. God's will. God's will be done.
Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC and Miss Merle.
Good morning.
Hi. My name is Paul. I'm one of the guys behind bringing the Fairweather back to Cayman.
Okay.
Oh, good stuff.
And obviously, most people know that Fairweather is the last Caymanian-built sailing schooner still floating in the world. So we currently have Fairweather in England because once we bought her, and we bought her as a non-for-profit to be used primarily to educate the kids because of the lack of education in most of the schools here to do with Cayman history. Now, obviously, you can tell I'm not Caymanian. I'm one of those paper ones. I've been here.
That doesn't mean you're not Caymanian. You've been here a long time.
I know. But myself and my partner, Chris Rowland, we basically decided about 2.5 years ago that, everything is being paved over, everything is being chewed up. What you mentioned earlier, the island of time forgot. It's basically, even in the short 30 years I've been here, the island has completely changed. Mm-hmm. So we felt that, with Cayman's amazing maritime history, the seafarers, and especially the women, Mary Street, and especially with all the Marys living down there, that we had to save Fairweather, being the last boat still floating. Now, I know the Western Union's in Key West. Unfortunately, she's in a boatyard and she's completely gone beyond repair, unless you've got about $30 million. So what we did with Fairweather is we were lucky enough to have a benefactor sponsor 4 young Caymanian kids to send over to the UK to work on the boat over there, to basically put Caymanian hands back on a Caymanian-built boat. The kids are now all back here. Now, when I mean kids, they're young 20s and stuff like that. But learning or looking at what they were being taught is easy for us here to restart the shipbuilding trade, to build schooners again. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, wooden classic boats are in massive high demand in the States. And it's a perfect opportunity for the next generation to learn the skills of the past generation. And with the help of some shipwrights and, 20, 30, 40 young Caymanians who want to learn the skills of woodwork and carpentry and welding and engines and mechanics and stuff like that, we can quite easily do it here. Now, I know Mr. Jerris Miller, if you're listening, from the Catboat Club, wants to build a boat. I know he's been talking to several people and stuff like that. But seeing what these 4 kids have done in the last couple of months, it's easy to replicate that back here. The biggest problem we had with them being in the UK is they're homesick because they love Cayman. But the most important thing when we have Fairweather, and we hope to have her here this time next year, the main reason we sent her to the UK is we couldn't find that trade to work and fix the boats here. Uh-huh. And we were also very reminiscent of the Goldfield disaster tragedy.
Yes.
But what we're doing is I've managed to acquire some of the knees, some of the frames off Goldfield, and we're repurposing those mahogany frames and stuff like that to be used on Fairweather. So Fairweather will become like a living, working museum when she comes over here, basically. So the kids will basically learn about not just Fairweather, but they'll learn about the Goldfield, they'll learn about the Western Union, they'll learn about seafarers and stuff like that. And that's the primary reason why we're doing this. A, she's the last one. and B, the kids have to be taught about their history, because history does repeat itself.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd like to inform you and let you know. We are doing this, as I said, as a non-for-profit. We are accepting donations if people want to donate.
Okay, and if you want to give out the information in terms of where they can donate, we certainly,
go ahead. Go onto our website, fairweather.ky. We're also going to be starting a membership drive where you basically become a 5-year family member, and you also get your name on a plank or on a frame on Fairweather. So it's there basically for prosperity. So that will be launched in a couple of weeks, and that hopefully then will help us drive the fundraising to get the boat back here and stuff like that.
Great.
So I just thought I'd like to inform you. So I don't know if any other callers want to talk, but that's more or less it from me.
Extremely grateful for you providing that information.
It's a great project. It really is. And I just wanted to interject too. Last year, we had the launch of the book, The Turtlers and Schooners of the Cayman Islands, with Jerris and, of course, Susie Soto. And let me tell you, when you get that book in your hand, you can't put it down. I've read it from page to from beginning to end, and I want to read it again, and it's a thick book with lots of good stuff. So again, bringing it all together, we have the material, we just have to do it.
Yeah, and we can do it.
Yes, we can, absolutely.
What these four boys have done, we can certainly do it again here.
Absolutely.
And if we're a little bit smart about it, we can do it as a tourism attraction, and any of the money made can go back into, seafaring stuff and making another boat, training the kids, building boats, making a bit of money, supporting fair weather, stuff like that.
Right. I know that there's a couple of Caymanian children who are actually studying to be sea captains. I won't mention any names, but I know one who he's completed his studies because he does want to be a captain, and so he's still in school. So.
Yep.
But it's the thing that we need to realize is that inside of this profession of seafaring, there's every other career. Every aspect of human life is right here, right contained in it. What can I say? Again, it's integral human development, and that's where I'm headed.
Yeah, but it's also the kids themselves must want to do it. There was 100 years ago they had no choice, but now they have, they've got too much choice.
Well, true, but at the same time, we all know our children respond to what the parents teach them.
That's correct. Yeah.
So you have to come back to the parents, and indeed, I'll dare to say, the Caymanian parents. Smarten up and teach your child about who you really are.
Okay, I'm going to sign off and let you guys basically for the next couple of minutes with the talk show and go from there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much as well. Miss Murrell, got about 3 minutes left. I want to give you an opportunity for some rehashing, reminders, and in particular to the churches on Sunday as well, a message to them.
I think that this program this morning, I'm leaving here with a feeling that it was designed by God. I didn't expect to be here. In fact, as I mentioned to you, OC, when I arrived, I felt a little bit nervous because I had no clue what was going to happen. But here we are. And it's just been a wonderful time. I will continue to look into everything. And I understand there are a couple of people here who have requested my contact and so on. OC will give that to me, and I'll let you know. And it's, what can I say? It is our core. It is our being. It is what we have to do. And it stems from our moral values. It is our spiritual value. They say that when you understand life from the spiritual perspective, everything becomes clear. And that's the way I'm seeing life at the present time, right? Somebody also asked me to be sure to explain to the banking business. You, my dear, were started by our own seafarers, and don't you dare forget that.
Actually, the first bank to come here when they came,
yeah,
they didn't even have a safe. So I read somewhere where the monies that they had to start the banking was kept in the administrator's office.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I came back to Cayman in 1978, I remember going into Barclays Bank, and this person walked in with this huge suitcase in front of me on my lunchtime, and I had to wait while the cashier counted all of that raw cash that they brought in. All these things people don't know. They don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know. They come and they see and think it was always there, you know.
That's the one that had a lot to do with her reputation, and we still carry the burden of that on our shoulders as well.
Yeah.
What can we say? What can we say? Miss Merle, this has been extremely rewarding based on the feedback that we're getting, from our callers and the people who send in messages, as well. I hope that the Day of the Seafarer on Sunday is just as successful as well, and it's up to people to make it a success as well. I want to thank all of those callers who called in, those who sent WhatsApp messages as well. I want to remind everyone that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. So we should extend a helping hand to them. If we can't do that, then we should donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So we say to everyone, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands that have been founded upon the seas and established upon the waters or upon the floods, depending on which version you use in terms of the Bible.
So what I had this in closing, what I was going to say is, may God grace our Sea Sunday 2024 and bring us closer to the knowledge and proclamation of His kingdom where we live, and may our seafaring reputation of being the best in the world reflect as the light of Christ in this negative world.
Great.
Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
God bless. God bless.
And you.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury.
And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient.
Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
And Kirk Market. Experience a world